Previously on eNEWS Direct.
Our top stories tonight. Efforts to rescue 3 trapped workers are hampered following another ground collapse at Lily Gold Mine. DA MP Glynnis Breytenbach heads to court on charges of defeating the ends of justice. This is eNEWS Direct Weekend Edition. Good evening.
You can comment on any of our stories by following us on Facebook and Twitter at eNEWS Direct.
Or you can check our content on our website, eNCA.com/direct. Well, there has been a major setback to rescue efforts at the Lily Gold Mine in Mpumalanga, with another ground collapse overnight. 3 workers have been trapped underground for the past 8 days. They were in a lamp room housed in a container when the first collapse happened last Friday. Rescue operations have been suspended while an assessment of the ground is carried out.
United in prayer and song, emotions high and patience tested. However, another collapse has rendered the rescue mission risky, adding more days to the already strained operation.
We are awaiting experts. From the side of the mine, they have called their experts. From the side of the DMR, we have also reinforced. We are here to engage with them and hear what is the way forward.
As families, employees and employers keep hope alive, those affected by this crisis are set to receive compensation.
Those that have survived, who are underground and have survived, each will get 50,000 rand for all the 70 people who have survived. And the 3 that are still trapped underneath the soil, by the time we rescue them or get the container above the ground, each family or each of them will get 200,000.
But some of the relatives are not impressed.
We are supposed to sit down and talk. They cannot make a decision on my child.
Officials are working to bring the operation back on track in the hope of reuniting Solomon Yarenda, Preeti Nkambule and Yvonne Nisi with their families, dead or alive. Linyaruselo, Lily Mine, Mpumalanga.
Well, we cross live now to our reporter, Malungelo Boy, who is on the ground at Lily Mine. Malungelo, what is the latest you can tell us about developments at the site?
Well, a very good evening to you, Robin. All I can tell you is that the operations here at Lily Gold Mine have been suspended. All those attempts to rescue the 3 workers that have been trapped underground for more than a week now have been suspended because of the collapse that happened early this morning. Officials telling us that that collapse has made the rescue operation very difficult, even for those that are carrying it out. And so what has to be done now, a geological assessment has to be done by officials so that that geological assessment is going to pave way of what happens next. So until that happens, really, there's nothing they can do. And also, we don't know, Robin, as well as how long that assessment will take. It could take a day or even a month. Officials cannot tell us exactly the time frame. So we wait and see. And that means the families of Simon Nyandere, Yvonne Nisi, and pardon me,
Thank you, Malungelo. That was our reporter, Malungelo Boy, live there, updating us on developments at Lily Mine. DA MP and former prosecutor Glynnis Breytenbach will appear in the Pretoria Magistrates Court on Monday. She and her lawyer, Gerard Wagenaar, are accused of defeating the ends of justice.
Former prosecutor Glynnis Breytenbach and her lawyer are being taken to court. The The National Prosecuting Authority says the pair will be charged with obstructing the ends of justice as well as contravening the NPA Act. The charges relate to a probe in 2012.
This emanates from a situation in 2012 in which our Integrity Management Unit investigated Advocate Glynnis Breytenbach on issues relating to acts of misconduct. Then she refused to hand over an official laptop, which the investigation team believed that it contained information that was relevant to their investigation. She subsequently wiped out or shredded all the information, official and private, that was contained in that laptop.
Mfaku says enough evidence has been gathered against the former prosecutor.
After the disciplinary processes was concluded and she was cleared of the charges, then the institution felt that there must be investigation, criminal investigation, which was reported at SABS. SABS conducted the investigation.
Meanwhile, the DA says it won't be suspending Breytenbach in the wake of the new charges and accuses the NPA of having a political agenda.
It is instructive that the charges against Breytenbach have been laid at the same time as our court action against Nomgobo Jiba. The DA is currently in the midst of a review application requesting that the Western Cape High Court set aside President Zuma's decision not to suspend and order a commission of inquiry into Nomgobo Jiba.
The NPA has rejected the claims. Lindwes Tole, Pretoria.
Hundreds of angry Umlazi residents have marched to the Durban CBD over a lack of housing. They're demanding answers from the eThekwini municipality about a project which has not been completed. The multi-phase development now sits empty and residents claim it has been taken over by criminals.
A much-needed housing project left for ruin. Many of these units have fallen prey to vandals, with the windows, doors and water pipes stolen. Others stand incomplete. Frustrated residents from Umlazi's T section claim the first phase of the project was due to be completed in 2011.
Their concern is that they want to know exactly how they are going to vote for their councillors. If their councillors are not fulfilling their promises.
Members of the Ibunya Dama Hostel organization say they've had several meetings with the eThekwini municipality over the matter. But it hasn't helped. Now they've taken to the streets. Umlazi residents believe they've been left with no other option but to march to Durban City Hall. There, community leaders have handed over a memorandum of demands to authorities, giving them 7 days to respond. The municipality says it will investigate the matter with its housing department.
As the municipality, we are trying all our best to make sure that we house everyone who qualifies to be housed, but we won't allow a situation whereby there are projects that are not finished.
49% of participants of Stats SA's 2015 KwaZulu-Natal Citizen Satisfaction Survey indicated they were unhappy with municipalities' delivery of affordable housing. And if the protest by Umlazi residents is anything to go by, then officials have a tough task ahead of them as local government elections edge closer. Judith Subban, Durban.
The Jacob Zuma Education Trust is 9 million rand richer thanks to big businesses opening their wallets at the Presidential Golf Day Challenge. At a gala dinner last night, beneficiaries of the fund thanked its sponsors.
Attended by diplomats and big business, the Presidential Golf Challenge in Gala dinner raises funds for social responsibility initiative. The main sponsors, Cell-C and Transnet, both expressed their support for the President's choice of charity.
It is not by chance, it is by choice. The choice understanding that education is key not only to what we do today, but to the future of this country.
President Jacob Zuma spoke about his own struggle to obtain an education, which he says motivated him to help children from disadvantaged rural backgrounds.
I have an experience that if you were not empowered by education, the life is more difficult.
It will give me an opportunity, not just for me to get educated and be what I want to be and have my family. It has given me an opportunity to contribute to my communities, to see my community grow and become better and prosper.
I knew that I was going to struggle or either not go to university, but due to the Jacob Zuma G Trust Fund, I was able to go to university.
The trust says it's provided over 20,000 basic and tertiary education bursaries since 1995. But there has been controversy in the past, with some university students complaining their fees had not been paid. PBI Shavitvala, Cape Town.
International headlines now, and Somalia's al-Shabab group has claimed responsibility for last month's Daallo Airlines explosion. The plane en route to Djibouti made an emergency landing in Mogadishu after a suspected suicide bomber blew a hole in the fuselage. Officials said the suspect was sucked out through the hole. The passengers had been scheduled to fly with Turkish Airlines, but that flight was cancelled due to bad weather. And Pope Francis and Russian Orthodox Patriarch Kirill have called for restored Christian unity between their churches at historic talks in Cuba. The meeting was the first between a pope and a Russian church head since the western and eastern branches of Christianity split in the 11th century. The venue, Havana Airport, was a compromise. The Patriarch will have to face down anger in Russia from conservatives who still consider Catholicism a deviation from true Christianity. The Pope is now in Mexico, where he was met by the country's president on arrival and an ecstatic crowd. Well, for these stories and more, go to eNCA.com/direct or follow us on Twitter and Facebook at eNEWS Direct. On to sport now. Brandon, Proteas all-rounder Chris Morris ecstatic about his performance.
Yes, indeed, Robin, and he's just saying he's happy to have been able to contribute to the overall team success. That's it from the sports desk. Robin, what can we look forward to?
Thanks, Brandon. After the break, we bring you romantics looking for love, turning to online options in the hunt for that special someone. Well, as the world celebrates Valentine's Day, spare a thought for those who are single. Many struggle to find their soulmates. Some turn to online dating as the most convenient way to find that special someone. But experts say people need to be vigilant.
Are you hoping to find love this Valentine's Day? Do you feel like you've exhausted all your options? Well, there may still be hope. Internet dating. Pearl says even though she's failed to secure a steady relationship from the internet, she's not giving up.
The challenges were that you'd find that the guy stays far, so it would have to be one of those long-distance relationships, and I wouldn't know whether what it is that they're telling me is true. Like, there's the trust still an issue.
This couple met 5 years ago on social media, and they say online dating has worked wonders for them.
We met through Facebook, and through Facebook we were able to chat, and something fruitful actually came out of that.
However, online dating does have its challenges.
Online dating can be very tricky and people can be very sneaky. You could come across a pervert and you're not even aware because they put all these photoshopped pictures of themselves. So obviously when you are participating in online dating and you're looking for someone, you will put everything that is best, that looks good.
A psychic says a healthy relationship, whether it's online, starts with self-love.
Relationships, you have some incredibly happy endings to the relationships. Others, I feel that the people are too anxious and they're looking for love outside of themselves. They actually need to look within themselves.
Tanapata, Johannesburg.
And that is your entertainment for tonight. After the break, Candice has your weather forecast.
Welcome to the Weather Centre on Saturday night, where a weak cold front brings in some rainfall in the southwest overnight, as well as into the first part of Sunday. It'll be another sizzling hot day for the western bushveld and Gauteng, with heatwave conditions continuing. Thundershowers are forecast over the northeastern and eastern parts, with a watch of the possibility of severe thunderstorms over western KZN, fine and dry as we head towards the northern Cape. You'll see a sizzling hot day for KwaZulu-Natal on Sunday, with highs even into the upper 30s. Isolated thundershowers are expected throughout the province, with a watch for severe thunderstorms over the western part of KZN. Partly cloudy and dry throughout the eastern Cape, with a warm day along the coast and for the adjacent lying interior. Warmer though as we head further inland, with highs in the low 30s. You'll see a predominantly dry forecast for the western Cape, other than some rainfall in the southwest due to that cold front. A mild day for Cape Town and Hermanus, both in the low 20s, but with a warmer day as we head further inland. Cooler over the western part of South Africa, 25 degrees for Springbok, Kelvania 26. In the mid 30s though as we head over the eastern part of the province. There's a high fire danger warning over the central part of South Africa. Thundershowers are expected over the eastern part of the Free State, as well as throughout the northwest, where you'll see highs in the mid 30s, and heatwave conditions continue for the western bushveld, Lephalale at 38 degrees, with a few thundershowers extending through to Limpopo. Dry over the northern and eastern part of Limpopo though, as well as into Skukuza at a sizzling hot 40. Thundershowers are expected as we head further west, with highs in the low 30s. Heatwave conditions continue for Gauteng, 33 degrees for Soweto and Johannesburg, Pretoria 36, all with the possibility of thundershowers on Sunday afternoon. We're still forecasting some light rain for Cape Town on Monday, with thundershowers over the central and eastern part of South Africa. Heatwave conditions continue for Gauteng all the way through to Tuesday, where we can expect a dry day. Thundershowers are forecast over the central and eastern interior, with some drizzle for George. That's all from the Weather Centre for now. Enjoy the rest of your night.
And here's a recap of your top stories. President Jacob Zuma has assigned 3 ministers to provide support to the families of workers trapped at Lily Gold Mine. DA MP Glynnis Breytenbach heads to court on charges of defeating the ends of justice. And that is a wrap from the eNEWS Direct team.
Up next is our movie tonight, Agent Cody Banks 2.
To share your views, you can send an email to enewsdirect@etv.co.za.
Or chat to us on Twitter and Facebook at eNEWS Direct.
Until next time, take care.
Catch tonight's episode live eNEWS Direct, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. only on E!